What's your business?
I am a dentist and I do facial aesthetics, which includes dermal fillers and Botox.
How's business?
It's fulfilling.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast interview. So for the people who don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself? Who are you?
I am Dr. Tara Francis. I am a dentist qualified from King's, and now I do facial aesthetics most of the time.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in London, was born here, never moved out. However, I've always wanted to. But yeah, mainly London, and I've always stayed. I've been in the same house my whole life too.
That's quite nice though.
It is nice. Yeah, I do feel. Well, I am moving in a month's time to somewhere more central, which is exciting. But yeah, London's been amazing. I love it.
So did you always know that you wanted to be a dentist first as a kid?
No.
Do you have any idea?
When I was younger, obviously when you're like 7, you want to be a superstar. You want to be famous.
Still do.
Yeah, still do secretly. And then obviously as I grew up, things changed. I wanted to go into architecture, but then I realised it was a very long process, quite competitive, quite male dominated. Then I wanted to be a plastic surgeon, but constructive plastic surgery. But again, if I looked at it long term as a female, it's quite hard. If you want to have a family and stuff like that, you have to do a lot of work behind the scenes to get there. And then a family friend of mine said, why don't you just come and shadow me? He's a dentist. So I went and shadowed him during my GCSE years and then really liked what I saw. So took it from there. That's
quite lucky because even from GCSE, from 16 to kind of know what you want to go to uni for, is quite a good thing because I found that by the time that it came to applying to unis, so I wanted to do English and psychology originally, but I couldn't get into a good uni doing that because I hadn't done any science A-levels. Because when I was 16, I just didn't think about it. I just thought, I don't want to be with my chemistry teacher who's horrible. So I'm just going to do English instead and history. And then, so I needed biology. So it's a bit of a shame, really.
It is a shame. And I think it's hard when you're that young, though, to know what you want to do. But at school, we were told to really think about our A-level options because they are important. So we really had to. So we were lucky, we were guided.
Yeah.
So think about it a bit more.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you went to uni to study dentistry.
Yes.
How did you make the jump from being a dentist to kind of going into facial enhancements and lip fillers and that kind of thing?
So while I was at dental school, during my second year, one of the tutors who used to tutor the practical side of dentistry also was amazing at head and neck anatomy, which was one of our modules during dentistry. And
sorry, what's head and neck
anatomy? So it's just like the structure of the face that includes like the bones, the skin, just how your body is made. So we had to focus on the head and neck in second year.
Okay. Head and neck anatomy. I thought it was one word.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, no.
Sorry. I had extra tutoring with him because I found it quite difficult. And he did Botox and fillers, and I would go and watch him treat some patients once in a while, and he would kind of incorporate the head and neck side of things with it. So he would talk about the muscles that he's targeting with the Botox. And then I just grew this fascination. It really interested me. It made me enjoy the anatomy side of things, which I never used to. Then throughout the years, continued to read up on it, just in my own time. And then as soon as I graduated, I did the course and it just took off from there.
So which course did you do?
There's different courses you can find online. I researched a few of them, and the one that I did was based in central London.
Would you recommend it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. So what kind of stuff can someone get done if they were just generally looking,
For treatment?
For treatment, yes.
It is amazing what you can do with the different, with just dermal filler and Botox. Botox is the kind of copyright name. It's anti-wrinkle reduction injections. It is amazing what you can do. So you can help enhance your lips if you want to make them a little bit more plump, or if you've got older and they've started to lose some volume. You can enhance cheekbones, chin. You could pretty much
give yourself a new face.
Yeah, you could. I don't like the idea of giving people new faces. I prefer to do things quite naturally, but it's possible. You can really, I wouldn't say completely change, but definitely make some differences.
What's in the fillers?
The main constituent is an acid. It's hyaluronic acid, which is a sugar molecule. We have it in our bodies naturally, but obviously in the filler it's man-made.
How long do they last?
Anywhere up to 9 months, 12 to 12 months.
Can you get longer lasting ones?
You can.
Would they be made out of the same
No,
substance?
it's very different. Yeah, it's different. They are used not so often, mainly because they're not reversible as well. So if there is a complication, it's much harder to then rectify.
Okay.
And also, not everyone likes the idea of it being permanent. Some people just still want that peace of mind that it's going to go, or we can remove it if we need to.
Commitment issues. No. So what's the most popular request that you get? So what's the most popular treatment, would you say? Lips, yeah. Yeah, I read somewhere about in the last, like, I can't remember, 4 years, Google searches are like 10 or 15 times more for lip filler alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
just gone up a lot, yeah.
The research is showing now that a lot more people are going for the non-surgical options as well. Like, so generally, even for body contouring, things like that, less people want to go under the knife.
Yeah.
So the interest and the market for all of this has greatly increased over the last few years, which is better. I think if we can not go under the knife, it's much nicer.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think's kind of sparked this trend towards natural? It's like natural enhancement, but
most of the time it's natural with what we do.
Like with lips, do you think it was what everyone always, like, Kylie Jenner?
Kylie Jenner had a huge influence on it for sure. And I think ethnic beauty is definitely becoming more of a thing now. And people are appreciating different faces and appreciating the beauty in each different person, and they pick out what's the most attractive and they want that on themselves.
Yeah.
So obviously filler lips is more kind of luscious and
fuller,
attractive for a male most of the time to look at a female. So I think that's what's happening, and the beauty industry and how we look will always be such a big thing. I don't think it will ever go.
Do you mind me asking have you had anything yourself?
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff have you had done?
So I've had my lips done.
Okay.
I have had some Botox. I have had my nose done. I used to have a little bump.
Oh my god, you just can't tell? That's crazy.
The point.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think people have this misconception where you say lip fillers and then they just think of, like, you know, that picture, like, with really blown out lips and it looks really fake and like the duck pout. Yeah. But it doesn't have to be that way, which some people maybe want that, I think.
Yeah, there are some people that want
which
that.
Which is fair enough.
Yeah.
That's what you want to go for, but it also can be so natural.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people who are against the filler because of the way it looks, not necessarily because of other reasons, or get worried about what it will look like, is because what they see is the bad stuff. I'm sorry, that was very rude. Not the bad stuff, but the stuff that doesn't look so natural.
Yeah.
The work that doesn't look so natural. Whereas there are so many people walking around the street right now that have had Botox, that have had fillers, that you wouldn't know. So they wouldn't think this person's had it, so it looks okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the misconception is a lot of the time.
Well, one of the other negative stereotypes is once you start, it might be hard to know when to stop. Do you find that to be true at all, or?
With some people, yeah. And that's why it's very important for me personally, for my ethics, to be able to say no.
Yeah. Oh, have you had to say no to clients in the past?
So many times. Yeah, whether it's they want something that they don't need, or whether they want their lips done again, but I'm like, no, it's
don't
fine.
need it,
They look absolutely fine. They suit your face right now. What they decide to do after that is up to them. If they decide to go somewhere else and get it done, that's them. But for me, one of the most important things about my job and how I take it is to be truthful.
Yeah.
I don't just do it for
money or just
I really
a paycheck.
Enjoy it. I do see it as art, and I want people to be walking around as like a little.
And you want people to look good as well, like they're a reflection of your work. You don't want anyone to go out and say, "Yeah, I had this done by Dr. Tara," and it doesn't necessarily reflect well on you.
Yeah. Completely. They're my walking advertisement, essentially.
Yeah. It's quite interesting how you say that it's almost a form of art, because I see it almost. In a way, I don't know if this is a bit of a stretch, but it's some kind of therapy, because I can imagine some clients coming to you that completely lack self-confidence or self-esteem. I'm not saying the way to find that is to go out and get something done, but sometimes it's just that little boost, something that you might have felt insecure about for years, that you can just fix so simply, and really, like, it's a small price to pay for it.
Exactly. And again, fine line between how far can you go with treating someone that's got self-confidence issues?
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's why it's really important, in my opinion, to go to a medical professional who can look at you as a whole and pick up on the telltale signs of maybe this person's got a little bit deeper and this treatment may not help them completely, and just to talk through a little bit of kind of
the issues, kind of
and why they want it done, and
so having a personal relationship is probably quite important.
I think so, yeah.